Hello everybody and welcome back to Emily's Upcycled Home, where I take thrifted finds, salvage items, and create home decor pieces. Let's jump into project number 1. We are just going to jump in and do a little few simple upcycles here for you guys. And I have this rusty crusty hanger here. Oh, it's a key holder, I guess, a metal piece. And I'm just going to add a little rose to the top using some floral picks that I've had. And then I'm going to attach that with some floral wire and give this just a little dainty touch with a white rose in the corner. You can use this in your kitchen and hang some wooden pieces off of it. It will look great attached to a salvage piece of wood, just a decor element. And, that's something we might look into. If I do, I'll add that at the end, just give you a little update there. Now, that's was this simple upcycle here. So we're going to just jump into the next little piece here. And I'm going to take these little rustic vintage wooden spoons, a vintage little doily, and we're going to create a little staging element for a vignette. Sometimes upcycles are just simple things, you guys. They don't have to be difficult. They don't have to be tons of layering. And here's my little doily. And I'm just going to come in with some twine here, wrap that up, add a little piece of yellow sprig of floral just to go with that little crocheted or hand knitted piece of floral that's on there. And then our little piece is done. And for our third little piece here, I'm just taking this salvage spindle. I am going to attach it to a base here. Using my Gorilla wood glue, I attached a little wood round at the bottom. I'm going to come in here and give it some support and nail that piece up. Now, it has a little hole on the top, so I just thought, hey, birdhouse. But do I have a birdhouse? No. So what's better? A nest. Let's go ahead and put a nest on here. So I'm coming in with some hot glue gun, my hot glue and my hot glue gun. Gonna add the nest to the top. Now there is a little circle on the spindle that kind of is gonna act like, hey, maybe a little bird lives in there. I'm going to come in and hot glue some little eggs here, add some little floral to this piece, and then this simple upcycle is finished. Okay, so I spoke too soon. To add some balance to the top so it's not so top heavy and flops over, I'm just going to add this salvage piece of wood here. I'm going to leave it as is. We're going to come back in with our Gorilla wood glue and our brad nail. And at the end, I will go ahead and seal that wood in with Rust-Oleum. For this next piece, I lost some footage, so I'm just going to explain. I take this copper wire here in this corner here, and I twist it and wire it and make a loop at the top to hold a picture here. And that's the part I lost, just me bending and manipulating that wire to make it into a little hook. I did paint the base white here, and now I'm just coming in with the finishing touches. I do apologize that I didn't have that covered, but you just manipulate the wire and make a curlicue on the top, and then I wounded the wire around. You see the little screw at the top there. I rounded the bottom wire around that with this red tool in the corner. Now I'm just adding some bow here, a bow here. I put a little sprig of greenery, and that's it. Now here I'm just going to trim and cut this little bow to how I like it. So I think these will look cute with a family picture or in a vintage picture, but I don't have those. So I'm just coming in with these cardstock tags that I got off Etsy. And since I'm doing a shabby chic show coming up, I'm working with some shabby chic elements here. I'm just going to trim the card here, trim off the corners, and then I'm going to add that into the little loop that I created with that copper wiring. And then this project is complete. And there is our little stand. I hope you can see that better from the side angle. And I do apologize that I forgot to show you the wire and how I manipulated that. And here is the piece with that chiffon ribbon back. Add it back onto. Then I come in and distress the base, and then I seal it with top coat, Rust-Oleum top coat, and a spray sealer. Don't forget, you can also shop my items on Facebook Marketplace. Moving on into project number 2. I have this wood blue candlestick, just one lonely blue candlestick, and I'm going in with some Dixie Belle paint in the color white, and this color is called Fluff. And we're going to go ahead and give this candlestick 2 layers of this fluff color. And then if you are interested in purchasing any of the Dixie Belle products I'm using on my channel today, please use my affiliate link down in the description. I am going to go ahead and come in and do a second coat on this, but I'm not going to bore you. We'll come back and continue on with the next step. So I wanted to decoupage some images on this piece, but it didn't quite work out. But I'm going to show you my process either way. I took some rice paper here and just a plain printer paper and a simple glue stick like you get from your craft store or Target, wherever you shop. I'm putting that glue around the edges. I'm going to place my rice paper back on there. And I am going to trim around that rice paper, and we're going to run this through our printer and print out the images on that rice paper. And this is how we're going to make our own decoupage paper here. Like I said, you just want to trim out the extra rice paper off of your paper, and then you got to figure out how your printer prints. If you need to put the rice paper down or you need to put the rice paper up, it's gonna vary with each person's printer. So once I get this all trimmed up, I will go ahead and put that into my printer, print out my images, and then I'll come back and show you what I have. So I just have a regular inkjet printer. I printed out these tags, these little cute shabby chic tags, and I'm going to use those. And I'm coming in with my heat gun here just to finish drying off the ink and kind of set it into the paper. And I used to use like the Rust-Oleum top coat to spray it, but I think this might work out better for me. I'm just going to dry it. I'm going to cut out my pieces and then we'll go on. So I'm going to show you guys this process anyway, because I end up not liking this and ripping it all off. But I should have just picked one big piece of image, rice paper image to do instead of all these little pieces. But if you're going to decoupage, you want to use your hands and just rip. You don't want a smooth edge because it's going to come in and it's going to really show. It's going to be a pronounced edge. So you kind of want to rip and feather the edges as you decoupage. So I'm just coming in with, like I said, the regular Mod Podge, and I go ahead and layer up all this piece, and I rip and paste, and I end up not liking it. So I'm going to show you in really fast speed, just so that you guys see that, you know, mistakes and messes happen. You change your mind, and sometimes it works out in the end to your advantage because you like the product better than what you thought. So if you use this technique, just use one solid picture, okay? And after all that time putting on the Mod Podge here, you see me come in now with that same Dixie Belle fluff, trying to hide up all the image. And I thought maybe I could distress it back and just show some of the pictures, but it was just really a hot mess. So then I decided to kind of pull everything off while it was still wet. So I pull it all off and then I sand it, and then this is what I'm left with. And guess what, guys? I like the look. I like the crusty, not the crusty, but the rustic look here. And if you look really close, there's like little images of the floral on the thing. And then this is me just playing around with this bird. And then I actually break it, so that changes that plan as well. So after the headache this project gave me with this little wood candlestick, I just decided to come in with some white wax, seal it all up, and just leave it rustic distress with a little bit of that print of the floral designs on there. And the wax I chose to use on this project is DIY white wax. I wipe off the excess, and then this is what I'm left with. Let me know in the comments, would you guys have tossed this against the wall? What would you guys have done differently? Let me know. Come shop with me over on Whatnot every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That link is in the description. Now let's go ahead and jump into project number 3. And if you haven't guessed, it's a book stack. So I'm coming in with just this rustic set of book stacks. I painted these spines blue for one of my shows and I had it in a basket. The basket didn't sell, so I'm redoing all the things in the basket. So I'm going to go ahead and paint these book spines white, and then we'll come in and layer up some other elements here just to give it a shabby chic look. So just to help hold the books in together, I'm coming in with just a rubber band. I am adding this lace element here to shabby chic up our style and giving it a trim. And I usually do not glue things onto my books just so that they're easy to change out for the buyer. But this time I decided to go ahead and come in with my hot glue gun and just make this a permanent look here. If somebody really wanted to come in and change this out, they could by cutting and ripping off the top layers of the pages. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and glue all these pieces that I am using onto here. And I'm just waiting for my hot glue gun to get hot and then fixing this piece of lace so that I can attach it. Then I'm just coming in with the rest of our cards here, and I'm just want to add this onto the top just to give it that pretty pink floral element here. And I'm going to add it there, layering up our book stack here. So this is kind of a layered look, almost like if you were going to come in a junk journal and do a spread on something. I'm kind of taking that look and putting it onto the top of the book here. I trimmed off all these corners here, and then now we're going to come in and start attaching. So our glue gun is hot enough, so we're going to come in, like I said, and attach these pieces permanently to the book. Well, not so permanently. I don't want too much fabric overlapping here because I don't want a bulky look. So I'm coming in with my scissors and just trimming off that edge. And as I add the glue here to that corner piece, I'll come back in with my scissors and retrim that excess fabric off, just so it's not bulky like I said. So after I trim this, I'm going to go ahead and start layering the piece up. Coming in with some shabby chic pieces, layering up this cardstock, and I'm going to add the glue on either side, and I place it on the book at a diagonal angle. Coming back with that rose stem here, and I'm just adding that one single rose here. I'm going to trim off that stem, and then I am also going to glue that rose at that angle that I have set up right here, adding a little glue on the tail, adding a little glue on the rose itself. Now I'm just holding it in place so that it can dry and not move around on me. And that broken bird, I broke it, you guys. I didn't know if I showed you, but I was trying to maneuver it around that candle and it just snapped because I didn't heat it up enough. But we are going to use that. Nothing's wasted here. We're going to add that onto our book stack using, once again, our hot glue. And it's going to look like it never even broke. So I'm going to reattach the wing also there. And then I believe this is all I do to this book stack. But I guess I have to watch it just like you guys. I'm going to come in and put that wing there, hold it down in place, and to like kind of blend it in a little bit. So I add a little bit of white wax to the top of the bird just to like kind of camouflage a little bit of that little groove where we put the wing back on. And then this is all I'm going to do to this book stack. Layered up, added some lace, and it's a cute little shabby chic style now. Okay, I lied. The last thing I did was add that chiffon ribbon just to soften up that rose there, and then this project's done. Don't forget, you can catch me live every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you like my projects and my content I bring you here, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell for more DIY videos. And here are the finished looks. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think of these projects. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you on the next one.